Hey, what's up? This is Drake here. I was coming back with another Monster Hunter Wilds build video. We're going to go over this longsword build that I put together. And I guess full disclosure, I'm not a longsword main. I'm not very good with longsword, but I just was running this Adrenaline Rush set, and the thought occurred to me that longsword would capitalize and use it very, very well. And turns out the Seregios weapon actually is kind of busted on longsword. But we'll go over the build right quick before I do any demonstrating, and it's the same as the other builds if you've seen my other videos. Still do 2-piece gore, 2-piece Reggie here, and waste for Artfield, mainly just for the weakness exploit. Decos or something like this. I mean, we got one chain for 1 level of burst, which just gives you that flat 8 raw as soon as you do, I think it's 5 hits to activate it. 1 tenderizer, some physique. I don't guess you have to run this, or technically for longsword I would probably swap this out for quick sheath, but I mean, it's kind of maker's choice. The physique does kind of help because your foresight slash does consume stamina, and the quicker that gets back up, the quicker your maximum might reactivates, and the quicker you get back that 30% affinity that you lose. So physique might be the more valuable here. I haven't really tested the two, because like I said, I'm not a longsword main, but this build is just kind of busted good, honestly. And 3 sane jewels to get that 25% from when we overcome gore. I did swap out this for the mighty talisman for full maximum might, because longsword does capitalize on maximum might quite well most of the time. And skills look something like this. We got this crit boost and master's touch on our longsword, because the majority of the time, if you're hitting a weak point on this build, you're setting it around 95% affinity as long as your maximum might is active, which will be the majority of the time. And then we get up to 98% when that agitator's active for that extra 3%. But honestly, it's not worth dropping any 1 level of crit boost to get 2 or even 5% more affinity, because the numbers just don't add up. But yeah, we're getting the blade scale honing from the weapon, which is actually kind of busted. I'll show in just a minute. For some reason, it counts your Helmbreaker as 1 attack and your follow-up as another attack. So, I mean, if you didn't know, what it does is give you extra sharpness, which gives you a flat 5% bonus when you have that extra sharpness, but it stays active for your entire Helmbreaker because it only counts it as 2 attacks. So if you do it properly, you can just get a 5% bonus on your biggest attack with longsword every single time. And of course, as you're doing this, you'll be activating Adrenaline Rush, which is just a flat 30 bonus. And the rest is, our weakness, our evade, maximum might, antivirus. Burst, we have 1 recovery from our armor, which that's not really, I mean, it's kind of nice, but not really important. We have 1 coalescence from our headpiece, but that doesn't function because this build is in purely raw, which it does up status or element if you want to swap out the weapon, but it has no effect on this particular build. But we're running 2-piece gore to get that when we overcome the frenzy. We get 25% affinity for a minute, I believe it is. And the Seregios 2-piece so that we can stack Adrenaline Rush 2 times. I believe it extends it to 45 seconds, but the fact that you can double activate it just makes it so much easier to keep it close to 100% uptime. Another is just leftover stuff from our armor skills, just makes it easier to mount. But yeah, that's it. And as far as we'll go in here. As far as the weapon goes, we're just running this Regios longsword fully maxed out, and like I said, master's touch, full crit to get that 3 levels of crit boost. But the blade skill honing is really what shines here. You didn't know it kind of stacks well, because like we're sitting at 221 right now. I'll do this without activating the Adrenaline Rush. As you get levels of gauge on longsword, it actually gives you a flat damage bonus to have those. So it actually works pretty well. So if we just get it this way. And like I said, I am not a longsword main. So, I mean, I kind of wish it was. I just don't enjoy the way the weapon feels, so I just tend to not run it much. But you can see now we're up to 247 or 242, so it's 21 flat bonus when we get up to red gauge. And now Now that we get that, we have our sharpness plus our bonus. Now we're up to 280. And now we can go straight into Helmbreaker, and as you'll see, it doesn't even consume all of our blade skill honing, which we still have a little bit active. And the reason being is because it counts it as just 2 attacks. The multiple hits don't matter. That's that one a little early. You see, every time you do, you get your blade skill honing, and it activates our adrenaline rush too. So, very good combo for longsword. Now we're back. It doesn't seem that the sheath one, and I missed it. It doesn't seem that that attack actually activates either blade skill honing. I don't know why I didn't activate, but yeah, it doesn't seem to activate adrenaline rush or blade skill honing. So if you run that play style, it's not very effective. I would say something else would be better. But all your foresight slashes, and it doesn't even have to be a foresight. I mean, literally, if you just want to roll an attack, which I didn't roll it. Yeah, if you want to see that activated our adrenaline rush right there, just by doing that. But you have to have your weapon out for it to activate. See, we got blade skill honing and adrenaline rush. We didn't even have to foresight. So I mean, if you're doing anything with longsword that you're rolling, foresighting, whatever, you're getting your blade skill honing, and you're also getting your adrenaline rush active 100% of the time. And like I said, have to turn it on. But yeah, this is it hits 95%. Most all the time, as long as you're hitting a weak point, 98% if agitator is active, just because we get that from our armor. But yeah, it just seems like a really, really good synergy, and honestly, the damage numbers are kind of crazy. And if I was a longsword main, I would definitely be running this, because honestly, it fits into the play style so well, because every time you get those foresights, every time you roll an attack, you just get a benefit from doing it. And honestly, that blade skill honing covering the entire Helmbreaker attack plus the follow-up too is kind of crazy, because you get max benefit from that 5% on those few attacks when you use it for your biggest attack. Anyhow, that's the build. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you see anything I missed, drop it in the comments. If you like the content, drop a sub, man. It really helps the channel out. As always, thanks for watching.